Morning, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see from the title of the video, off to the emergency room last night. And believe me, as a person who's not been in an emergency room for a personal reason, I've taken, of course, kids in and things like that, but since 1968, believe it or not, well, let me tell you, it took a lot to get my ass into that ER, but last night was the breaking point. I've been fighting this thing for a couple days, and I've been dealing, I guess, with a low-grade fever, and I really haven't had a fever since October of 1991, believe it or not, when I was overseas and adjusting to life in Asia. I got pretty high fever over there at that time. So I kind of remember that. But meanwhile, I've been, remarkably healthy and everything and resistant to things. That's until this came along, and I'm still not clear as to whether it's influenza or COVID. And I'll walk you through the process that I went through last night. And a lot of things have changed in the COVID protocol. So by last night, all of a sudden, I noticed over the days that I started getting symptoms on Thursday afternoon, right? Thursday night into Friday, I felt like, I'm not feeling so great. Woke up on Friday morning, feeling pretty decent, right? But then by the end of Friday night, boom, started to really feel kind of hot and stuff, and started to have this crazy cough that I just could not shake. And by the time of yesterday morning, I woke up and I thought, I don't feel so great this morning, right? It's like I'm moving on to higher and higher oscillations of feeling lousy, right? And then by last night, I'm coughing so hard that I feel like my cracked rib is going to explode or something, right? Like I need a girdle to just keep all my guts in it. I'm coughing so much. And when I'm coughing, I'm noticing, oh man, I'm coughing up blood. I'm like, oh geez. Okay, so, basically, okay, all right, I'm dead man walking, right? So I get in the car, I go to Kaiser, I go in the door, and it's like, pick two of the worst nights to go into the emergency room, okay? Number one, bing, Friday nights, right? Gunshot wounds and overdoses, Party City, USA. And number two, Saturday night, right? So there I land in there about 9 o'clock last night. I'm sitting there. Everybody's looking half dead. The place is overflowing with, guys, oh yeah, I got chest pains, I'm dying, right? And at 9:30, here comes this message over the speaker at the emergency room. It's ding, ding. They play this like Nurse Ratched music. Do, 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 do. And this lady's voice comes on. Thank you for allowing us to serve you at Kaiser Hospital and Emergency Room. Our quiet time begins now. We ask you to turn down all mobile devices and lower the volumes and things like that. And we just start looking at each other like, we're like, really, there's people just barely clinging to the cliff of life, right? You could have heard a pin drop in that ER, right? So I just kind of chuckled, and of course people didn't chuckle back at me or whatever, but I had a mask on and all that. That's the other thing I noticed when I went in, like nobody had a mask on, right? And I'm coughing like a moron, but I'm stepping outside of the ER doors to cough, right? So finally I get checked in, they see my, check my blood pressure, my vitals and all that, and I finally get to see a doctor. It's like 4 different iterations you go through. First you get intake, then you go in and they get your vitals and things, then you go sit outside for another hour or two. Then you get to see the doctor, and the doctor's like, "What's up?" He's like a 28-year-old doctor. Cool, It's like, "Oh man, bro, I'm sorry." "Sorry you're down." I said, "Yeah, I think I might have COVID or something like that." And he's like, we'll be swabbing and testing for that. And I said, "Yeah, I think I need to be on some Plaxivoid or whatever the hell it is." And he's like, "We don't even prescribe that." "We give you Tylenol and Motrin." I'm like, "Okay, I just blew $120 to come in here and do the same therapy that I've been doing." But he said, "Better get you down there for a chest x-ray and make sure it's not pneumonia." So then he leaves for a while. The nurse comes in. So "Hey honey, we're gonna swab you up. Yeah, you'll probably be okay. You're gonna live. You can let go of the edge of the cliff. We got you." I got you. So I go down for the chest x-ray. Hold your breath, right? And I get that done. And then the last thing, the doctor comes back and you're sitting in a different area. "Hey, it's like, pound it, right? You're okay. Your chest x-ray looked good. This COVID test has to cook for a few hours. We'll let you know." Well, it's been almost 12 hours and I haven't heard a doggone thing, so I don't know. Is it lost in the sauce? I guess something will show up or whatever. But I'm going to continue to take it easy this week. I'm not going to press it and send myself down to a totally new level of horrors in this thing, right? Shout out to the boss and Janet. I don't know about the boss. The boss likes to needle me all the time, but Janet sent over some 4 different soups last night. Chicken noodle, and there's all kinds of 4 different nice soups that she sent over. I thought that was really beautiful for her to do that. She's such a wonderful person. How she ended up with the boss, oy vey, I don't know. Anyway, they come as a package deal. So. Anyway, many of you have texted, dropped emails and things like that. I kept it pretty tight because, I don't like being down, right? He's a Baltimore tough guy, right? You have to be the toughest, right? Well, when you've established a kind of reputation for toughness, it's hard to be in an ER. And, please help me. You know how that goes. Anyway, my fever felt like it broke last night. Now, I've had this experience before. I'll be sitting here in the morning, I'm feeling like, oh yeah, I was sweating like a pig in bed. It broke the fever. I'm good. And then boom, by the end of the evening, it's shooting up, and I had like 100 point something. I don't know, 100.9 or something. Like, I'm death's door, right? And I said, I need help. So by this time, I'm coughing so much that I leave the ER. The guy's like, we'll talk to you. So the doctor walks me over to the checkout, right? It's like, time to pay the piper. I got to pay for my copay. Copay out the door. Right? And my throat has been hurting so much from coughing. I said, I'm going to Jack in the Box here. And I got myself a big ass milkshake at Jack in the Box and enjoyed that as best as I could last night. So thank you for all of you, for all of your well wishes and everything. The old war horse from Baltimore is still around. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Take care and have a beautiful day. Yeah, I got more content coming somewhere, somehow. Just be patient with me. All right, it's weird too that on December 28th, right? 4 years ago to the day, my father passed away from COVID, a month before they had the vaccine available. And I thought to myself, well, he never got sick, right? I mean, the last flu, he had the Hong Kong flu in like 1968 or whatever. And that was it. And I thought, wow, we have the same genetic composition. I'm on my way out, right? It's amazing the things that go through your mind. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day.